How's the week going so far? Are we off to a good week start? Yes? No? Yeah? It's going to be a great week because we're going to have the opportunity during our Employee Appreciation Week to say thank you to you for all you do every day. We're going to celebrate a little bit. We're going to have some fun. There are T-shirts involved. Who liked the little wireless speaker? Anybody like that? I think that was good. So I'll tell you who brought that idea to us was Chad Minter, and maybe he stole it from Teen Court. I'm not sure about that. But we're glad you're here this morning. This is a really special day. We are here to honor the good work of our award winners. Each year, our executive leadership team has the really, really difficult task of choosing award winners in a lot of different categories, and that's what we're here to celebrate today. I hope that we can enthusiastically congratulate everyone, but the thing about it is, we recognize that each and every one of you brings something really special to the table every day. That's why it's so great to be in Southlake. I can't tell you how often I'm told by people in the community, by people who serve on our boards and commissions, and by the city council about your great work. Little things, big things. People are so impressed with the city staff. And so before we even start with the recognition, I want you to give yourselves a great big round of applause for all the good work you do every day. You're awesome. You know, part of these ceremonies is always that the person who kicks it off gets to give the instructions. So pardon me while we go through a few logistics. What we'd like you to do if you are an award winner is when your name is called to just step forward. All of the awards are right here. There's no requirement to go on stage, Kenny. We're good. You're not going to have to step up there. Once you receive your award, if you'll step out into the hall, you may have noticed that we have a backdrop there. We want to grab your photo for history. And then if we could, as we're doing groups of awards, let's hold our applause to the end of the group. That way we can hear everybody's name and give everybody their proper recognition. So we're going to get this party started with Ben Thatcher recognizing our 10-year service awards.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here with you. It's always a fun time of the year to be here for this award ceremony. You guys know you take great pride in your work. I'm thankful for that. I see it every day as I go around and interact with you in your different divisions and offices. Those of you who are new employees with us this year, I hope you see that sense of pride that is there with your team members. If you don't know this, you need to know this. Across the state, across the DFW Metroplex area, we're known for being an organization that provides excellent work, that has a standard above a lot of other organizations that are like us. Even across the country, folks will often give us a call and want to learn about what we do and how we do things. So I want you to feel, just have that little bit of specialness coming from us to you and what we're thankful for in your work. We're known for being kind of above the best and setting that standard. But really, we're going to take time to recognize those that have received a 10-year milestone. Words like dedication, loyalty, commitment, these are things that are exemplified by people who have been here over a set amount of time, and we want to pay special tribute to them. First, we're going to start with a 5-year, 10-year awards, and we're going to give you a pin. This pin is a symbol of your time here, and there's a 5-year pin, a 10-year, 15, 20, and so on. You have a program on the table in front of you, and if you flip it over, you'll see those are receiving a 10-year award. If your name's on there, just know that I'm about to call you up, and you make your way up here, as the city manager had said, and Sean and Alice are going to hand you that pin. Once you receive that pin, if you walk out here where Madeline is, and then you'll go out and you'll get your picture. So we're going to start with the 5-year, 10-year folks first. All right, first from Information Technology, we got Derek Guy, Janie Ocampo. Come on up here, Janie. Daniel Massengale. Jay Nunnally. Kurt Ackerman. Preston Logan. Christopher Melton. Embola Morgan. Okay, that's our 5-year, 10-year recipients. Please join me in congratulating them. Now, this year, for the first time ever, we're experimenting with Facebook Living this event for our coworkers who aren't here or maybe are at home, not working today, or maybe manning an office. And so we do know that some of them are watching this show. And so if you're watching, you're not here, we appreciate your commitment and service to the city. Now for the 10-year recipients. From the fire department, Chris Brown. Public Works, Joe Walsh. Finance, Shannon Barton. Finance, Melanie Cantor. Public Works, Jack Thompson. Fire Department, Brent Noble. Public Works, David Aguayo. There's David. Public Works, Josh Tressler. Fire Department, Mike Frucy. Community Services, Enrique Garza. Planning and Development Services, Ernie Aguilar. Police Department, Tyler Sewell. The Finance Department, Tammy Susky. Police Department, Kevin Deal. And from the City Manager's Office, Allison Ortowski. Please join me in congratulating the 10-year recipients. Now for the 15-year award recipients. Public Works, Mark Cisneros. There's Mark. Police Department, Roderick Page. Finance Department, Judge Carol Montgomery. Police Department, Chris Garrett. I didn't see Chris. All right. Join me in congratulating our 15-year recipients. Now for our 20 years. From the Police Department, Carl Moore. Fire Department, Brian Corbin. Fire Department, Tony Payton. Let's say I saw Tony earlier. Fire Department, Chief Mike Starr. Fire Department, Jason Wise. Fire Department, Mike Leonard. Public Works, Kenny Wright. Community Services, Ryan McGrail. Planning and Development Services, Keith Martin. Public Works, David Chauncey. The Fire Department, Ray Fagley. Please join me in congratulating our 20-year recipients. Okay, we got one 25-year award recipient, and I know you guys all know who he is from the Planning and Development Services, Paul Ward. I do not believe Paul is here. Is Paul here? I think he's actually manning the office in the Building Inspections Department, so if you need to stop by, you know Paul, he's a very humble individual. But Paul, if you're watching on Facebook, we really appreciate the 25 years of service you've given to the city of Southlake. Please join me in congratulating him. Now, at this time, I'm going to ask Allison Ortowski to come up to the podium. Actually, Shannon Barton just walked in. Where's Shannon? Shannon, come on up. Shannon is an award recipient for a 10-year award.
I made an entrance.
You did. Grandiose entrance for Shannon. Right, Allison.
Thank you, Ben. We're going to move on from the tenure awards for a moment to recognize the recipients of our GROW Awards for this year. These awards are awarded to employees by their peers, so it's really great because it's a way for employees as they go about their work through the day to recognize one another. In 2017, more than 250 GROW Awards were awarded. The slides on the screen are going to cycle through those who are recognized for their efforts this year by their coworkers. And we'd like to give a special congratulations to Tarl Plank because he actually received the most this year with 5 GROW Awards. So let's give him a round of applause, recognized for his great work. As you can see, we have so many, we're not going to ask everyone to step forward. We would literally be here for probably 3 more hours if we shook everyone's hand on this list. But we do want to congratulate everyone for the great work that they do, and let's give everyone who received a GROW Award this year another big round of applause. Now we're going to move on to the Director Awards for this year. Each year, one employee is selected by their director for the department or service area that they work in. This is a prestigious recognition. The directors, you'll see if you've seen the videos that have been sent out by email in the last week, the directors talked about the things that they look for whenever they are considering who to recognize for their award this year. They often cited in the videos adherence and demonstration of the city's values, a person's work ethic, their attitude, how they affect the team, and their individual performance. The honorees are truly world-class employees this year, and they make a difference every day. Each director will be presenting their own award, and we'd like to ask the honorees to step forward when your name is called and remain standing up here during the presentation. We want to make sure to get a good shot of you on that Facebook Live feed. And so the first presenter that is going to be bestowing their Director's Award this year is Chris Tribble.
Thank you, Allison. I want to thank all of you for being here this morning. It's a real honor to work with so many dedicated and hungry individuals that you'll take time out of your time to come to join in celebrating all of our award winners. At this time, I'd like to ask my Director's Award winner, Ashley Newhart, if you would come forward. When I began thinking about who to recognize as this year's Director's Award winner, a number of deserving candidates came to mind, as they do each and every year. With such a large department full of dedicated and overachieving, fun-loving, enthusiastic, and competitive perfectionists, it always makes this choice very, very difficult. I look for contributions made to the team to support our goals and objectives, a level of commitment, an unwavering integrity, and really just a genuine desire and ability to serve our community. This year's winner, Ashley, was selected because of her flexibility, her commitment to excellence, and boundless dependability. She's a go-to team player. She's always willing and enthusiastically accepts a challenge. We relied on her heavily this past year. She delivered world-class service over and over and always jumped in with a can-do positive attitude. Her natural leadership abilities allowed her to excel in 3 different roles this past year when we really needed it. Even today, she's taken on additional responsibilities because we're shorthanded 2 additional people in our department. I've noticed also that many of our new team members have gravitated towards her guidance, one of which she's mentored that was transitioning from being a part-time employee to a full-time role. She's committed to taking our programs to the next level, ensuring that our team is fully prepared to open Champions Club this year, all the while being under a huge workload with both of our athletic positions that are currently vacant. She's taken ownership of the Live Fit Southlake program to well exceed the number of participants from the 2 previous years. She's also taken on a role to enhance the Live Fit programs and events that are offered to the community, as well as to assist with the selection of the fitness equipment at Champions Club. Oh yeah, and she actually drank the water in the community services department, so she worked in having a baby this year as well. She's been a valuable member of our team since joining the city in 2014 when I stole her from the city of Burleson, and I really did come steal you, if you'll remember. She's held a variety of roles. She's viewed as a leader among her peers. She's detail-oriented. Her projects are always completed ahead of their due dates. She's always looking for a way to improve our programs and services, and she's established connections with our local businesses who provide multiple sponsorships for our community programs and events that we offer. Bottom line, I can always count on Ashley. No matter what the challenge, she'll step up and take it. So it's my pleasure to recognize you, Ashley, as this year's recipient of the Director's Award for the Community Services Department. I need to ask Sharon Jackson to come forward to present the Finance Director's Award.
Good morning. Before I do the Director's Award, I want to recognize Melanie, our 10-year award recipient. She was planning to be here sooner, but because of her dedication, she was a little delayed because she was worried about working the municipal court window. So please come forward to get your 10-year. Congratulations. As it is every year, it's always a great challenge to select one person for the Director's Award in Finance. And we have such an amazing team, and in that each member of finance brings a unique strength and skill to the overall performance of the department. In fact, I would like to personally thank every member of the finance team for their hard work this year. However, I am told that I can only choose one winner, and this year's winner consistently represents our city's core values, in particular her commitment to excellence. Prior to becoming the customer service manager for water utilities, you may have spoken to her a time or two while she worked in purchasing, which is not an easy job, having to tell someone that they're out of compliance. But she always did it with a smile on her face and had a helpful, positive attitude. Her customers can tell you the same thing as well. It's this kind of commitment to excellence that made her a natural fit to becoming the customer service manager for water utilities. In her short time since becoming the customer service manager, she has made an incredible impact with gaining efficiency and making innovative changes within the department. As with any great leader, her first order of business was to focus on her team. Knowing the impact that they have on serving our customers, she decorated the lobby and office to provide a welcoming feel for customers and staff. She greatly improved communication with the team. She delegates and follows up and is genuinely interested in their growth within the city. She gained efficiency in the division by outsourcing the mailing of water bills, which has allowed staff more time in serving our customers. She is persistent and focused on process improvement, Not long after becoming the manager, she tackled a long-standing issue with a payment processor that now has saved staff in multiple divisions a tremendous amount of time. While doing all of this, she remained a huge help in the transition of her previous position. She was always available to answer questions and was the go-to person for her expertise and knowledge. In fact, these aren't my words. It really speaks volume that these are the words of her peers. I think that says a lot about her as a person, but also a great leader within our organization. And this year, I'm honored to present the Director's Award for Finance to Misty.
So since Sharon introduced me, my name's Michael Starr. I'm the fire chief. Thank you, Sharon. Carry on. Thank you. Had to call her out a little bit. So first of all, like all the other directors said, it's very difficult to select one individual for this award. We have a great group of employees in the fire department that provide an outstanding service to our citizens, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. But like they said, we had to select one. So I'd ask Chris Brown, can you come up to the front? I'm going to recognize an employee of the fire department who quietly, substantially impacts the operational efficiency of the organization on half of our emergency response and safety on almost all our employees. The individual who is receiving the Fire Department Director's Award has been with the organization for 11 years. From the first day of the job, this individual has displayed a strong work ethic and a positive and proactive attitude. He has promoted into a leadership position within the organization and has successfully worked to instill these same characteristics into his assigned personnel. The individual can be counted on by his supervisors for consistency and above average work quality. The employee has taken on additional responsibilities for managing the fire department's protective clothing as our bunker gear program. A complete set of protective clothing consists of special garments including bunker gear, bunker pants, boots, gloves, a helmet, and a protective hood, which all are worn by firefighters. All are worn by stumbling through this, huh? Personal protective equipment for firefighting operations. The program is very important, complex, and highly regulated as a direct impact of the ability of firefighters to perform their job safely. One of our regular agencies, the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, mandates all the Texas fire departments comply with the minimum standards of the National Fire Protection Association 1851, standards on selecting, care, and maintenance of structural firefighting protective equipment. This standard is a highly technical document that specifies minimum requirements regarding all aspects of these garments, including the acquisition, fit, maintenance, inspection, requirements, scheduling, cleaning, and required records management. This employee manages all these programs for the entire organization in addition to his daily job-related responsibilities. He has acquired a vast knowledge regarding each item of the firefighter protective ensemble and their respective regulatory requirements. Each of the protective clothing items have a specific useful life that must be individually tracked. Items must be inspected and cleaned at specified intervals, which requires detailed record keeping. Repairs must be made from normal wear and tear. Items must also be destroyed when they reach the end of life, useful life. All this requires detailed record cleaning and keeping, and we're inspected by the Texas Fire Commission. In completing all these tasks, he also works with numerous vendors and manages a large budgetary line item. The employee spends numerous hours managing this program, which is continuously throughout the year and does so in a very competent, professional, and friendly manner. I'd like to thank Lieutenant Chris Brown for all the hard work and dedication to the Southlake Fire Department. And next, I'd like to call up Chief James Brandon with the Police Department.
Good morning, everyone. Would Corporal Preston Logan come to the front, please? I'd like to thank, again, as you've heard, and echo the sentiment of thanking everyone to be here, in particular our members of the Southlake Police Department this morning. I know I am appreciative of everything that you do, as well as everybody else, and all of you do great work that truly make the city what it is. Corporal Preston Logan began his tenure with the Southlake Police Department in February of 2012. During this time, he has achieved many goals, both personal and professional. Corporal Logan is a member of the North Tarrant Regional SWAT Team and is one of the department's field training officers. Even with the additional responsibilities, Corporal Logan balances his time well and provides excellent mentorship and guidance to the officers assigned on his shift, as well as to new officers who are in field training. Corporal Logan is currently assigned a patrol where he assists the shift sergeant in day-to-day operations. In the absence of the sergeant, Corporal Logan leads the shift and has received numerous compliments on how he handles himself during major incidents which require supervision and oversight. Corporal Logan displays a positive attitude and an infinite desire to learn, which helps maintain the morale of those around him and creates a positive environment. During our recent reaccreditation on-site inspection, one of the assessors conducted a ride-along with Corporal Logan. The assessor was complimentary of him and his knowledge of the agency's daily operations, as well as his passion for the job and for the department. These interactions with other law enforcement personnel, as well as members of the public, demonstrate Corporal Logan's ongoing commitment to excellence. Since promoting to the rank of corporal, he has built upon his knowledge in policing and leadership through experience and training. This past year, he attended the DPS Leadership Academy and received several compliments from other employees and city staff on how engaged he was during these classes. In addition, Corporal Logan achieved his Advanced Peace Officer certification this December, and he was selected to attend the ILEA School of Police Supervision in June 2018, where he will continue his leadership training. Corporal Logan has been commended many times by citizens for his actions and his outstanding customer service. One occasion occurred in March of 2017 when he and other officers assisted a recently widowed resident locate a lost pearl earring, which had fallen off in the yard while the resident was raking leaves. Instead of leaving her to find the earring on her own, Corporal Logan called for additional officers to assist. The officers crawled around the resident's front yard until the earring was located. At the time, the officers had no idea of the intrinsic sentimental value of this pearl earring. According to the resident, it was one of the most prized gifts her husband had given to her before his untimely death. It is for these reasons and many more that Corporal Preston Logan is being recognized as the 2017 Directors Award winner for the Southlake Police Department. Would Planning and Development Services Director Ken Baker please step up?
Good morning. Before I introduce this year's award winner from the Planning and Development Service Department, I'd like to recognize Paul Ward for his 25 years of service to the city. Paul was teaching a class this morning, and I'd like to ask Susan Hernandez to come up, please. First of all, I'd like to thank all the members of the Planning and Development Services Department. I appreciate you all being here this morning, as well as everybody else. It's with great pleasure that I present the 2017 Planning and Development Services Directors Award to Susan Hernandez. This award recognizes her outstanding work, performance, teamwork, and customer service to the city of Southlake. Susan's dedication to duty and leadership as it relates to operations of the Building Inspections Division is outstanding. Susan possesses considerable knowledge of building codes and the city's land management software system, Excella, and is a great resource for the department, cities, and her colleagues. She has a servant's attitude and is always willing to share her knowledge of the codes and department software system to her co-workers and members of the public. She works closely with the architects and contractors to help them with projects as they relate to the application of sometimes very complex building codes. She is considered the data guru of the department, as she can quickly and effectively compile permit and development information. She is heavily involved in providing data for the department's annual and quarterly development and activity reports. Susan has been very instrumental in major projects over the past year. This includes the implementation of process improvement recommendations from our lean event. She has taken considerable time to update workflow processes, forms, guidelines, applications. Her work has resulted in the improvement of the quality of permit applications submitted to the city, the reduction in permit review times, and an increase in customer satisfaction. This effort has resulted in the departments meeting established key accountability indicators as they relate to building plan review. Susan has developed critical standard operating procedures which have detailed the job functions of many of the division's positions. In addition to the lean event, Susan has worked many hours in revising and updating the department's web pages to reflect the recommendations of the Building Services Management Study, the ISO certification report recommendations. This has resulted in an easier navigation of the web page and increased the customer's ability to apply for services online. While these lists of accomplishments are very outstanding and display the work that she has taken on this last year, she has also been spending most of her time recently with development and the implementation of the city's new land management software system, InterGov. Susan's work includes development, configuration, and module setup for case types, work classes, workflows, fees, and data reporting. She has spent countless hours working with individuals from the PDS and various other departments such as fire, finance, and public works to ensure that the setup and functionality of the system works. She is also heavily involved in the training of the new system. Susan is a true professional and a key component to department success. Please congratulate Susan Hernandez as this year's Director's Award recipient. This time I'd like to invite Director Cohen to step up, please.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Director Baker. I'd like to invite Tara Plank to join me at the podium, please. As Tara makes his way up, I'd just like to thank each and every one of you for being here, and it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to work alongside you in what we do each and every day. It's a tremendous team, and it's definitely a difficult time to select one person out of the department, but we shall press on. So it's been a pleasure to be part of an event dedicated to recognizing the recipient of the Director's Award for Public Works. As you are aware, the competition of such a prestigious award is never easy. This morning, I'll first provide a small glimpse of the landscape in which we work. Second, recognize demonstrated excellence while performing in such an arduous environment. We know civilizations develop, survive, and thrive on the availability of drinkable water, sewage-removing infrastructure, and an environment capable of supporting a robust and developed transportation network. At any point in history, the absence of a critical and essential public service has led to the ultimate demise and subsequent collapse of once flourishing civilizations. As we take a more introspective view, Southlake's prominence as a premier community is supported by our team's ability to provide compliant drinking water, sanitary systems capable of removing stormwater and wastewater, and our robust transportation infrastructure capable of supporting the free movement of people and goods throughout this wonderful city. This is a daunting task, yet our team works daily to meet the needs of our customers. It is therefore not an easy task to select a single individual for such collective achievements that are so noteworthy as 30,000 accident-free hours expended this past quarter, while working at times of day and night, on weekends and holidays, on the coldest of winter days and the hottest of summer days, sometimes 10, 12, and 14 hours a day, to meet city demands, city needs, and regulatory requirements. Work was accomplished in excavations 12 feet deep and at times with less than a foot of clearance between our team members and passing cars. It is hard enough to work in this arduous environment, even harder to excel in these working conditions, yet members of our team persevere to make a difference. This year's award recipient has made a difference for Public Works, the city, and our customers. He joined our team 13 years ago, becoming a crew leader in 2014. City values are his watchword as he upholds and exemplifies them daily. His unwavering integrity and steadfast moral compass is recognized by his peers, customers, and vendors alike. He is a safety champion, organizing biweekly safety meetings, observing and reinforcing safe equipment operations and safe operations on project sites. He promoted employee engagement efforts, resolved customer concerns, coordinated citywide paving operations to include improvements on Hillside Court and Kingswood Drive, something that TxDOT could not do. So that's a tremendous achievement in itself. And Tarl was instrumental in the completion of the Southlake Town Square enhancements, in which 68 handicap ramps were modified, 14,000 square feet of valley gutters were installed, and 1,100 tons of asphalt was placed. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Mr. Tarl Plank as this year's recipient of the Director's Award for Public Works. Almost forgot. I would now like to invite Ms. Lauren Leneve to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. It's my honor this morning to present the Director's Award for Town Hall Administration. I'm so honored to present this, but our honoree decided that she was going to conveniently take vacation this week, so she has missed out on the opportunity to be in the spotlight. The Town Hall Administration Award, whenever we're deciding this, we look at 5 Town Hall Administration departments: the City Secretary's Office, the City Manager's Office, OMC, IT, and HR. And so this year's Director's Award is Gentana Jones. I'm still going to talk about her. Hopefully she's watching on Facebook Live so we can embarrass her just a little bit. But Gentana began her time here in Southlake in 2014 as a temp whenever the executive assistant position was vacated. It took us about a day to figure out that we needed to keep her. Gentana is incredible. She has outstanding customer service skills. She's an excellent listener. She has a positive attitude and always is willing to help. She has an incredible sense of humor. She owns her work and is incredibly accountable at everything that she does. She's a quick learner and has figured out a way of making us feel special and encouraged at the same time. Whenever she became a full-time employee, we were thrilled to keep her and put her to work right away. Gentana works tirelessly and effectively to support our team in both large and small ways. Not only does she answer the main switchboard and the CMO phones, even though she's not really sure who she's going to get on the other side, she also coordinates endless numbers of meetings that we need as a team. She puts together packets and coordinates meeting logistics, manages purchasing and other office responsibilities. She works superbly with other departments, and in all of that, still manages time to be our therapist. As if all of this wasn't enough, this year with the absorption of economic development, she also took on those responsibilities. So she manages the budget and purchase orders, munis processing, and tracking. She coordinates skill meetings and CEDC meetings. She took on the management of the economic development database. And not only does she make calls to new businesses and existing businesses, but she tracks when they're opening and closing. She also coordinates the Southlake Business Spotlight and other economic development initiatives, including the business visitation and engagement programs. Gentana is so deserving of this award for these reasons and so many more. And since she's not here, whenever you see her, make sure to congratulate her and embarrass her because she got to avoid all of us. So just go ahead and give her a round of applause, even though she's not here. I'd like to ask Shauna to come up to introduce the Kristen Pitzinger Award.
Well, big thanks from the entire executive leadership team, and I'm guessing all of you, to our Director Award winners. Let's give them one more round of applause. We're going to shift gears here a little bit. We've come to a really special place on the program, and that is the Kristen Pitzinger Customer Service Award presentation. Before we do that, I want to just talk about Kristen for a moment because I was fortunate to work with her. She was a lovely, lovely human being. Those of you who were here when Kristen was around will remember how kind she was and how caring she was. She was really an outstanding employee, and I have to tell you that she was a perfect fit in the human resources department. She could handle the business, she could be tough when she needed to, but she was just lovely. And she had this little voice that made you feel like she was always happy and really cared deeply about you. But she also had a great big laugh. It was funny, this little person with this little voice, and then she would bust out laughing, and you'd be like, whoa, what just happened here? She was a great, great person who would go the extra mile to help you out. If you ever wanted to know what an outstanding employee looked like, all you need to do is go to the HR department and look at her photograph, and that's what you will see. She got it. She was never petty. She was never hard. She brought her best to the table every day. And for those of you who don't know, Kristen battled cancer, and it came about pretty quickly, and we all became aware that this was not going to have a good outcome. But I never saw her waver in her attitude ever. And those of you who know her probably are thinking the same thing. How could you be such a beautiful human being and suffer so greatly? So when she lost her battle in July of 2001, showing grace through it all, we said, boy, we've got to do something. We have to memorialize Kristen forever in our hearts, but also in our organization. And so that's what inspired us to create this award. This year, we're going to be honoring 2 employees, recognizing an employee who serves mostly customers outside our organization, and then an employee who serves us internally. And it's really great to be able to do that and to focus on giving this award to someone who emulates Kristen's kindness, positivity, her commitment to our organization and its people, as well as the people that we serve externally. Kristen's attributes are things we should all emulate, and many do, and today we're going to highlight 2 of those. So I'd like to ask Stacy to step forward. She has more of a voice than I do, and we're going to get on with presenting these awards.
Thank you, Shauna. I'm super excited to give these to 2 outstanding individuals today, but first let's start with our external services. I'd like to invite Shantae Carpenter to please come forward. So to tell you a little bit about Shantae and why he's receiving this award, I'd like to read the comments from his actual nomination forms. His coworker said, "If you're going to put a picture next to the term customer service, Shantae's would be appropriate. I've watched this young man for several years now, and his dedication to customer satisfaction is limitless. He will do whatever he can to help or assist customers, both external for his primary job and internal as a matter of routine. Many a conversation with him has ended with him saying, 'Let me know if I can do anything.' He's almost uniformly upbeat and carries that attitude to the forefront when dealing with clients. As one of the few remaining city employees who knew and worked with Kristen Pissinger, I'm happy to nominate Shantae Carpenter as this year's recipient of the award named in her honor, for he carries on her legacy every day." In fact, Shantae received 2 nominations, and here's what his other nomination said. "I think Shantae Carpenter embodies exactly what this award stands for. If you ever go around the city with him, you can't go anywhere that he doesn't know at least one person. Shantae knows a lot of people, and he gives 110% each and every day to make sure his customers are taken care of. Plus, he makes sure to have lasting and meaningful relationships with everyone he meets. Southlake residents know him by name and are always happy to see him. He works very hard to go above and beyond in his customer service role by adjusting his schedule to a customer schedule, even if that means coming in early or staying very late. Shantae, thank you so very much for your dedication to our organization and customer service, and let's give him a big round of applause."
Thank you so much.
So next up, I have the privilege of honoring someone who displays outstanding internal customer service. And for that, I'd like to welcome Jacob Goodsell to join me here up on the front. Jacob also received several nominations for this award, and I'd like to take just a minute to read those to you. Jacob is quite an impressive individual. You'll always find him working hard and flashing that big smile no matter how busy he is. His professionalism, positive attitude, and intense focus on every task at hand is refreshing to see. So refreshing, it prompted me to nickname him Perfection. You can see just the commitment to excellence Jacob has in everything he does, whether it is putting a new chair together for an employee, sweeping the steps of town hall, or making an area of the building shine. He gives every task his all and wants it to be done perfectly. Many of you may not know this, but Jacob is also going to school full-time while working full-time for the city of Southlake. He's planning on being a doctor or perhaps majoring in kinesiology or sports medicine. But whichever career he chooses, I have no doubt he'll be perfect because he treats his work with the fine precision of that of a surgeon. Another nomination said, Jacob has shown initiative, teamwork, and above all, outstanding attitude. I've observed him working hard and always displaying an excellent attitude, even with the most unpleasant tasks. Most recently, I had to have him something messy done, and his cheerful can-do manner was very appreciated. Jacob Goodsell is always friendly and timely with help. I know facilities department often gets pulled in lots of different directions, but they never seem like a bother. To that, I thank Jacob. Congratulations, Jacob. We're so very proud of you. I don't have to recognize anybody. Who's coming next? Ben, you're next.
I'm next.
You're
Thanks,
next.
Stacy. So it's my privilege. This is a neat part of the program where we get to recognize the Value Superhero Awards. And if you've seen these awards before, you know they're neat little bobblehead trophies. But before we do that, I actually want to recognize another 10-year award recipient. We have a 20-year recipient who just showed up, and I want to ask Keith Martin from Planning and Development Services to come on up. Come on up, Keith. Come on up, Keith. Yeah, come up. I got a special pin here that recognizes you for 20 years of service. Thank you for your commitment, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Go out and we'll get a picture up there. Okay, so this past year, some of you may have had the fortunate experience or unfortunate, depending on how you see it, have had an interaction with me where I actually quizzed you on what the city's values were. And so I want you to think about those right now for a minute. I'm not going to ask you to repeat those out aloud with me, but think about what those are. Integrity, innovation, accountability, commitment to excellence, and teamwork. I hope you can recognize what each of those values mean to your job and how you go about doing your job with those values in mind. Those values are very much the DNA of our culture. You guys, as I mentioned earlier, do some outstanding work, are well recognized for the things you do. And what you do is very important, but how you do it is even more important. What we're about to do is recognize these employees from this past year that kind of exemplified each value very specifically in their work. So first I'm going to recognize Jason Ariano for the Integrity Superhero Values Award. Jason, would you come on up? Come over here, Jason. So if you don't know Jason, Jason works in Public Works in the Operations Center in our wastewater division. I think you guys would all agree that if we're not taking good care of the wastewater sewer system, the pump stations, things can go bad very quickly. Jason performs TV inspections of city sewer mains to identify deficiencies in the sewer system, sewer tap availability, and location. He's been able to identify a large number of customers who have illegally connected to the city sewer system without paying for the service. Believe it or not, that actually happens. This form of service is typically unrecognized since wastewater collection system is considered out of sight, out of mind. Oftentimes, Jason will have to excavate a city main which may be in a customer's front or backyard. Many customers feel that we have invaded their private property. Jason has good communication skills and is able to calm the customer and resolve the issue in a timely and professional manner. Jason takes pride in restoring the property and landscape to a better condition than the way he found it. Now reading from his actual nomination form. Jason will often go above and beyond the call of duty. He will come in after hours to assist other crews in need. Recently, Jason was called in to assist with the repair of a 12-inch sewer main. The main was compromised by a contractor who was performing an underground bore before electrical service. Jason was able to locate the problem, clear the blockage in the city main, and prevent a wastewater overflow into a creek. Jason worked through the night to make repairs and resolve the situation. Please join me in congratulating Jason for his outstanding example of integrity in his work in the wastewater division. Next is innovation. So I want to ask Stacy Wells from our library to come on up. So here's what her nomination has to say. I don't know what I would do without a youth librarian like Stacy Wells. The youth department of a library is the most demanding department because there is always a need in the community to support our families with young children. And you know Southlake is a community of a lot of young families. The demand for library resources in Southlake is great, and circulation exceeds that seen in even larger communities in our area and across the state. And the demands for youth services is comparable to communities with over 150,000 residents. Most of that demand falls on the youth department, which consists of Stacy's as a full-time and Miss Elizabeth as a part-time employee. Youth materials accounts for 66% of our overall material circulation, and youth activities account for almost all of our program numbers. So I'm going to talk about something. This is the reason why Stacy got the Innovation Award for this last year. While most libraries pull programs like summer reading off the shelf and use what everyone else is using, Stacy asked to do something uniquely different in a Southlake way. For the first time in 2017, the library offered a custom summer reading program called Camp Big Read. Stacy designed this idea a year in advance. She tied it into the Southlake brand, developed unique program materials, organized the staff to create a campy atmosphere in the library, and she designed a custom online program for each age group, allowing them to earn virtual camp badges as they made progress through the program. Very unique, very custom, using technology, very neat. Stacy also hustles the entire summer to implement programs almost every day of the 10-week program. While she's running out to get supplies, restock prizes, train volunteers, sing and lead regular programming, and help to cover service desks, her custom program drew so much attention that we had record numbers of visitors to the library this past summer. On top of it all, Stacy has the best attitude. She's never flustered, is always pleasant and supportive with a great sense of humor. And while the rest of us were ready to collapse after the end of the summer, Stacy was already talking about this next year, Southlake Spy Academy, which is the reading program that they're working on and how we could even make it better. Her investment and devotion to library services is something you just don't see every day, and her commitment to innovation is something we really appreciate here at the City of Southlake. Please join me in thanking Stacy for her innovation.
Thank you, Ben. I'd now like to ask Daniel Ford to step forward. He is our Values Superhero Award winner for accountability. Daniel. And if you don't know, I think Daniel's gotten a couple of these Values Award winner awards in the past, and so he's working on a full collection. So Daniel's nomination noted, I think this city would be in a world of hurt if Daniel got fed up and departed for lesser demands on his time. Given all that is on his plate, he never fails to take responsibility for the littlest crumb on that plate. He owns it and has carried that attitude with him since he started here in 2006. He never crows about his victories and always fesses up when something doesn't go as planned and needs to be redone. I would like to take the time to recognize Daniel for the outstanding customer service he provided this week. This is another nomination that we received for Daniel. The property room has been without a barcode printer for some time, and after receiving a new one, IT was needed to complete the installation. Shortly after submitting the request, Daniel came down and immediately demonstrated service excellence. He worked diligently with me and the vendor for 2 days to get the barcode printer up and running, and because of his efforts, we are now able to complete the most important part of the job function. It means a lot to have a coworker who is so willing to take on additional work to help a team member and make sure our department stays on track. Thank you, Daniel, for providing excellent customer service to not only external customers, but internal customers as well. Daniel, you rock. Congratulations, Daniel. And now I'd like to ask Andy Alvarado to step forward. He is our recipient this year for the Values Superhero Award for commitment to excellence. This nomination that I'm about to read you is probably one of the favorite ones that I read this year. Everyone knows that if you work on Andy's roaming crew, you better be ready to stay busy. Andy has been responsible for overlooking and taking part in the completion of many projects. For 2 consecutive years, he has overseen the setup for many important phases of the 4th of July event. He led his crew in the creation of a duck habitat at Chesapeake Park and the expansion of the playground area at that same park. He also made preparations for the new swing bays at Royal and Annie Smith Park, along with the planning of 2 new flower beds there. And for the last few years, he has overlooked the beautification and cleanliness for special events held at popular wedding locations such as Sheltonwood Park, Liberty Garden, and the maintenance work around the mark. Andy is responsible for heading up the flower changes at all parks in the city. The city's department directors got to sample that work last fall. We did a service project and they were kind enough to take it easy on us, so thank you. Every week he is responsible for sports fields, special projects, dog stations, park trash, and recycling. Every day he is responsible for, and the nomination capitalizes this, the playground. Most importantly for Andy, there is no cutting corners. There is no taking chances or assuming anything. Everything will be done right. Everything will be the best a crew can provide. And P.S., don't get on Andy's roaming crew if you want easy money. Congratulations, Andy, on a job well done. Thank you so much for your commitment to the city. And our last Values Award winner today is for teamwork, and I'd like to ask Thomas Robertson to step forward. Detective Robertson joined the Criminal Investigations Division in February 2017, and he has transitioned seamlessly from his former role as a patrol officer to that of a detective. He was initially assigned to investigate property crimes, and after training and attending all of the required courses, he began to work cases on his own. During this entire period, he has displayed an eagerness to help any and all detectives with their cases. Other detectives within the division have said that he will drop anything he's doing to help a coworker, regardless of how big or small the task is. His desire to assist others, coupled with his patience and investigative thoroughness, also made him a good fit to work crimes against person cases. This is a tall order for any new detective due to the complexity of these types of crimes. He has handled this assignment well and with determination. There have been numerous times Detective Robertson has been called out to crime scenes after hours to assist the on-call detective. He has always been available, and he is always excited to learn and help out. His teamwork, however, does not stop with his coworkers. During the month of July 2017, he was assigned 2 residential burglary investigations where it appeared the suspects were targeting homeowners of Asian descent. He immediately began working on the cases and disseminated intelligence bulletins containing photos obtained from the surveillance footage. He quickly realized that various police departments in the area were also working similar burglaries with similar characteristics. Detective Robertson made contact with detectives from these departments and immediately began exchanging information with them. Utilizing evidence collected on one of the scenes, he was able to identify one of the suspects. He advised the other agency detectives of his findings, and they created a task force to pool resources and coordinate their investigative efforts. Over a period of 5 months, he and the task force, which was comprised of more than a half dozen law enforcement agencies within the DFW Metroplex, continued to work and develop leads and piece together evidence. This ultimately led to the discovery of additional crimes committed by these same suspects as far as South Carolina and Tennessee. His thoroughness and teamwork were highlighted throughout this extensive case, and due to his persistence and teamwork with other area police departments, a total of 3 suspects were arrested in connection with these burglaries. In addition, detectives seized over $80,000 in cash, approximately $100,000 in jewelry, several stolen firearms, and other evidence which linked the suspects to not only the Southlake burglaries, but to offenses in other cities in our area as well as South Carolina. His hard work, persistence, and teamwork were key to bringing a successful outcome to these investigations. So please join me in congratulating Thomas and thanking him for the excellent teamwork he has displayed. Now I'd like to ask Carol Borges to step forward.
Thank you, Allison. It's my pleasure today to speak to the Unsung Hero Recognition Award. Many of us work every day tirelessly, and we work behind the scenes. We perform vital work and are often unrecognized. This year, the city manager, Shauna Yelverton, and her team began a program to recognize selected unsung heroes for the big contributions that they make every day. Each quarter, an unsung hero was selected for recognition internally, and their stories were publicized to our community. We aren't asking you to come forward today, but we're asking you to stand up and be recognized by your peers. Kurt Ackerman, Facilities Manager. Michelle Sunday, HR Generalist. Alan Goldsworthy, IT Security Administrator. And the members of the Public Works Wastewater crew, Jack Thompson, Terry Holloway, Steve Strokes, Joe Robles, Jason Arellano, I still think I got that wrong, Christian Nash Royal, Raymond Buckley, and Johnny Jones. You will also note that Vicki Deweese is noted on the program, and she is the 2018 recipient of that, so we will congratulate her again next year. At this time, I'd like to ask Shauna Yelverton to come back to the podium.
Have you heard anything today that you found impressive? I keep hearing Elizabeth give it the whoop, 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 whoop. Yep. Good job, Elizabeth. You get head cheerleader. Well, that was sometimes the nominations, We appreciate everything that all of you have done, and I hope you heard some stories today that you found inspiring and maybe surprising, but it just is a testament, what we've heard today, to the quality of employees that we have on our team, and we're so thankful. For those of you who are taking home awards this week, I want to personally thank you for your good work. Very much appreciate your world-class performance. It means so much to this community. It's part of what makes it such a special place. So join me in congratulating everybody one more time, and let's give it the Elizabeth whoop whoop. Let me hear what you've got. Okay, come on, come on. Now there's just one more group that we need to thank, and that is the people who put this party together, who sweated all the details. I think they were here at maybe 3 a.m. this morning setting up, trying to take care of business. Ben, I'm not sure who was all on your committee, but if you'll all stand up and let us just thank you for putting it together. Thank you, Elizabeth. Now we have something very special to conclude our breakfast, but before we get there, again, logistics, sorry. There is another event that's going to be held right after ours, and it's going to be in the back part of this room. So socializing is great. You just need to move forward to do it so that they can go ahead and start setting up. And if we have any of our big burly men or women who would like to help put chairs up, that would also be very much appreciated. So just a few logistics there. But I don't want to take away from what's about to happen. The Office of Marketing and Communication, led by Pilar Shank, has done a fantastic job of putting together all the visuals and the videos that you've seen so far this week. And we have one more, and Pilar's going to kick that off for us now.
To sing, said a la-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, now you're singing with the swing. Sing, 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 everybody's born to sing. I said a la-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, now you're singing with the swing. When the music goes around, everybody goes to town. Tell me something you don't know. La-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, sing, 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 everybody's born to sing. Said a la-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, now you're singing with the swing. Everybody's born to sing. I said a la-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, now you're singing with the swing. Sing, 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 everybody's born to sing. I said a la-ti-da, oh-dee-oh, now you're singing with the swing.